The next thing I'd like to talk about is change your mind, change your mood. And actually, how does that really truly work? Because when you apply some neuroscience, this is the most fascinating thing. So in the field of psychology, what they've actually found with brain studies is that there is only a specific amount of self-control we actually have, and it is a depletable resource. So go figure, what the heck does that imply? And it's actually really fascinating because there's so many things that actually work in with that. It's something called cognitive load. Our minds actually really indeed are a lot like a computer. So the more you're actually trying to focus on one area, the more the other part of your brain does not have access to other information. So for example, especially this is where it gets really fascinating. You've got repressed memories. When you've got a repressed memory, the conscious part of your brain is actually trying to push that down, which actually requires cognitive effort. It truly exists. So you're pushing that down. As you're pushing down these memories, what you're actually doing is doing something called cognitive load. And therefore, the effort required, get this, even reduces your intelligence because your brain is busy in other areas. And another way this manifests, which is incredible to me, is something called stereotype threat. So, for example, if you even think that somebody might be stereotyping you, for example, me, I might think sometimes in a business setting, well, because I'm not dressed like your normal business person and because I'm female, I'm going to get stereotyped in a specific way, then you actually don't perform as well. So they've done these studies with women, with African Americans, with Asians, so especially with Asian people who we all think of as fabulous with math, this even applies to them as well. I mean, it applies to negative and positive. So when there's a stereotype threat, even in the room, you unconsciously pick it up and you unconsciously end up reacting. Unconsciously meaning it registers. You might think, oh, I'm not stressed at all. I don't care. It's like, so what? I might be thinking there's a male proctor in a math test watching over a group of women. And of course, he thinks that men are better at math than women, which a lot of people do, which I actually don't believe at all, but it's just a hypothetical situation. If I were to believe that, even at a subconscious level, my pulse rate goes up and your body also indicates stressors. So that just shows how powerful your subconscious mind is when there is a perceived threat going on. That's called stereotype threat. So it's cognitive load. So you're actually accessing that part of your brain. Your brain's working really hard and overtime. So the same thing happens with repressed memories. So you are actually working really hard overtime to keep those memories repressed. So once you've actually expressed those repressed memories through therapy or whatever type of modality you wish, you actually free up all of that and your brain functions better. When your brain functions better, your body functions better and you're happy. So it's really just phenomenal. But what I really wanted to talk about, see, all that's good background information. What I want to talk about precisely is, when you're in a bad mood, how do you change your mood? And so what we've been taught is you're going to have self-discipline and you're going to make yourself feel better. So when I get in a bad mood, then it's like, oh my God, I think I better go meditate. And it's like, I think I better go read something positive. I better try to be around positive people. And oftentimes I found the more I tried, the worse it got. And it just was just horrible. So I was reading in my literature today, because I'm doing for those of you who don't know, I'm doing my PhD in psychology, and that's where I'm learning all of these fascinating things. What I found is that when you are actually trying to change your mood, you're also depleting that aspect of self-control, that you're creating that cognitive load. And then as you're trying so hard, it's like you're trying hard to decrease to change your mood. You've got the cognitive load over here and it's creating stress. And then boom, guess what? Your self-control goes out the window. So it's like really self-sabotaging. You're trying to change your mood, and at the same time, you know, all of this effort you're putting into it is actually just going to snap because you're not able to do it. All that self-discipline and self-control when you're already in a bad mood, it works against you, and you feel even shittier because you're like, why can't I change my mood? I do all this positive thinking, I meditate, and I must not be doing something right. I mean, I've done that to myself. I hear countless friends talk about that. And the one technique that's worked for me, and now I know why after reading this, it's so amazing, is you go into the mood method, where like if you're feeling crappy, be like, feel as crappy as possible. It's like, give it your all. If you're feeling mad, it's like, you know, allow yourself in a healthy expression. You know, it's like healthily express how mad and pissed off you are. Or, you know, if you're jealous, like, feel it in every cell of your body. And it's like, just really allow it to be fully, because it turns out when you like express that all and allow it to be with the like underlying subconscious intention of, when I do this, I know it's going to get better. Guess what happens? Then finally your brain actually has enough energy because of that wonderful thing of the self-depleting amount of self-control, which actually really exists. You've all got all that energy now. It's not creating cognitive dissonance, and you can support yourself in creating that change. And so next time you're feeling crappy, and next time I'm feeling crappy, I'm going to do this too. You know, it's like what you've got is go into the mood, and then the magic trick, because our brains are like sponges. It's like we pick up everything around us. So then make little signs around you. See, this one says joy. I don't know if you can see it because it's green writing. This one says bliss, love. You know, these little things around your house are subconscious priming tools. You may think they're doing nothing, but actually they're doing an extraordinary amount for your brain because we pick up so many things. And that will be one of the next topics in the next blog, because this one's already getting too long. But let's call this, it's like mood modification. How do you do that? So and all these tools are so important for life, for your spiritual path, you know, for really for leading a fulfilled life. So till next time.